Good morning, Tigers, and welcome to Module 2, Lesson 8 of our Foundations practice. All right, remember we are setting a strong foundation to build our house of knowledge on. All right, so for today's lesson, just like always, you're going to need your writer Foundations notebook, and I got a new notebook. It's blue now. My other one is full, but I want to keep it. A writing tool, a growth mindset, and when we're writing, we are sitting up in the writing position. Our arm is resting on the table at a slant, and we are holding our pencil with the proper pencil grip. Remember, that is also important during your cursive writing lesson that you do independently. Go ahead and get your materials. If you're watching the recording of this, you can pause the recording while you get your materials. In addition to having your materials, our minds are going to be focused on the activity we're going to do together, okay? It may seem simple, it may seem routine, it may seem I already know my letter sounds, why am I still sounding them out? But it's going to be important because today in science, you're going to be required to do some research. And there might be some multi-syllable words that you're going to have to blend to read. They're not new words. They're not new. We can do this, Tigers. All right? So remember to bring the skills with you that we practice during Foundations into all the other areas of your day, including ReadWorks, Khan Academy, everything else you do. Eating cereal at home, there's some words on that cereal box. Try to try to blend to read those ingredients. There's some pretty scientific words in those ingredients. All right, do we have our materials now? Okay, sit up. Make sure you're in a chair. We'll roll on the floor and lay on the floor later. Right now we're sitting in a chair, writing position. All right, we're ready? Thank you, Tigers. Okay, let's get started. So today we will read another story about Miss Pam's class. Who is Big Hen? Who is Old Fox? We will use the new words and skills we learned to read about what these characters do. So remember, we're not just learning words, we're learning the skills used to read those words, all right? And then we can read any words. So who do you think Big Hen is and Old Fox? Remember, we can use the illustrations in a story to help us get that picture in our heads, right? To visualize the story, and that's what good readers do. Who do you think Big Hen is? Who do you think Old Fox is? Well, today when we read that story, we're going to find out. Good predictions. Today we're going to play questions and answers with our new high frequency words. I will name a word, and then you will write the word on your paper and think of a sentence using that word. Because of course it's important to know how to write these words, how to spell them, and how to recognize them when we're reading with automatically. But it's also like we have to know what they mean, right? And how are they used in the sentence? So we're going to write the words and then we're going to think of a sentence for the words. All right? And not a long sentence, not like a whole story, just like a word that gives a sentence, that gives that word meaning. So I will show you an example of what I mean. The first word is old. Simple sentences. How old are you? I'm asking about your age, right? And so when I put it into a sentence, I give that word meaning, much like when we put a digit, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, into a place, it gives it a value. Think of your place value chart, right? Well, when I put a word that is really just sounds, it really has no meaning until it goes into a sentence, right? And that sentence goes into a paragraph, and that paragraph goes into a story, and then we have a purpose for that word. It has value, right? It's worth something. So our first word is old. So I'm going to write it on the paper. Old. And I'm blending to write those sounds. You're not writing yet. You're just listening to my example. And then I'm going to think, what sentence could I use? And then quickly I'm going to write it down. How old, and I'm going to underline the word as I wrote it, are you? So I'm going to give you just a moment to write a sentence. All right? After each word. You don't have to write this one. I don't want you to write what's on the screen. I want you to write what's in your mind. What do you think about when you hear that word? All right? And we're all going to have different ones, and that's okay. That's actually good. That brings us variety in life. Okay? Are you ready? I know this is new strategy for us, but that's okay. Good job. Now let's look at other words. I'm going to tell you the word, and the word is up here if you need to look at it again. The first word, mystery word, I'm going to give you the word, and I want you to use it in a sentence on your paper. I'm not looking that every word in your sentence is spelled correctly. I'm not looking that you remembered your capitalization and end marks. That'd be great. But what I'm looking for is, does that sentence make sense in that sentence? Does that word make sense in the sentence, right? So your word is, and remember, write the word, underneath it, write your sentence. Your word is what? What? Look at the board. That's an irregular spelling for those sounds, isn't it? What? What? Write it. What? And since it's an irregular spelling, I might say W-H-A-T. What? Write your word. Check your word. Do you have your word on your paper? What? All right? And just like I did in my example, I wrote the word, and then I wrote, how old are you? And I underlined. All right? You ready? We're just going to do a few of these today. What? You got a sentence? Go. Write your sentence. Read your sentence. Does it make sense? I'll give you a moment to finish. Everyone should be writing. Yes, you can use cursive if you want. Don't use cursive if you can't read what you wrote, because you're going to read this to me. All right? Make sure you underline the word. Okay, are we ready for the next one? It's okay. As long as you know what you meant to say, okay? We're going to develop these sentence writing skills. Strong sentence writing skills. That's why I'm not telling you what sentence to use. All right? You ready for the next one? We're just going to do a total of 3 of these. We already did 1. All right? You ready? The next one, find. What's the word? Find. Write the word. Find. Blend. Find. Write it. You got it? Check it. Okay. Underneath the words you wrote, are you thinking of a sentence? You got it? Go. Write your sentence. Go ahead. Any sentence you want with the word find in it. Doesn't have to be a question, but I keep thinking of question sentences, but it doesn't have to be. It can be just a statement. After you write your sentence, read your sentence. Underlined our word, find. Can I share my sentence with you? My sentence is, help me find my cat, please. Find. That means I'm looking for something lost. Find, right? And so my sentence gave the word find some meaning. And you're going to share yours with me. You're going to read yours to me, all right? Let's do the last one. The last one. Round. Say the word. Round. You see the word on the chart? Round. Write the word round. You're not writing your sentence yet. Round. And as you wrote that word, you probably thought of a sentence. Round. You ready to use round? Go. So I think round is a describing word. So it might be describing something. And I know a sentence is complete if it has a noun, which is a person, place, or thing, and a verb. Is, and I can describe it. So maybe the something is round. Use the word, don't change the word. There's another word that has another letter on the front, around. This word is not around. This word is round. Round. We not only want to learn these words, read them with automaticity, we want to know what they mean, right? Wasn't that a fun activity today? Go ahead and finish. I'm just going to chat while you finish. Today, when you're done, you're going to take a picture of this and read me those sentences in your journal, okay? And I just want to check to see that you're understanding the meaning of the words. There's no right answers, there's no wrong answers. So give me your 3 sentences for what, find, round. And if you wanted to do more, if you have time, that's up to you. But it's a great way to practice the words, is putting them in actual sentences, right? Because when we read a book, we're reading them in sentences. All right? Are we ready to go on? Make sure you put an end mark on that sentence. Did you just tell me something? Period. Did you ask me something? Question mark. Did you exclaim something? Exclamation mark. It's only 3 end marks. There's only 3. All right. Here we go. We're going to move on. So right now your pencils are down because I want to hear you make some sounds. All right? So we're going to play with sounds in words. Pencils are down. You're still sitting up. You're still focused. You're still ready. Let's talk about word parts. We have been working with the sounds in words. We can also work with larger word parts or syllables in longer words. In the morning, we call those hunks and chunks. Each tile on the screen stands for a syllable in a word. I will say a word in parts or syllables. You will blend the syllables together and say the word. Listen as I do the first one. The syllables are tall and When I put them together, I say the word taller. And it kind of modifies the meaning of the word, right? When saying syllables allowed for children to blend, let's keep blending syllables to say words. Listen to these word parts or syllables. Fun, ni, est. What is the word? Maybe if I clap it out, you understand. Fun, ni, est. Put it together, what's the word? Funniest. Fun, ni, est. Notice each part has a vowel sound. Fun, ni, est. 3 syllables, 3 vowel sounds. I wonder if they have different patterns. Now try this one. Hell Helicopter. 4 syllables. Helicopter. What's the word? Helicopter. So when I'm trying to write helicopter, I don't write helicopter. I write helicopter. That's how we eat an elephant. 1 bite at a time. Elephant. I just take 1 bite at a time. When I'm building words with multi-syllables, I just do 1 syllable or word part at a time. Let's keep going. These are the parts. Cold, What's the word? Colder. Next one. Longest. 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 Right, good job. Sometimes when we put the syllables together, some of the sounds kind of blend a little more, and so we don't hear the ng in longest. We kind of just stress the other syllable. Longest. Longest. That's why when we're reading, we want to pay attention to what we're reading, because our brains will flex it and make the sounds, the accents where they need to be. Ready for a 3-part word? Happiest. Happiest. The word is happiest. One more. 4 syllables, get ready. Underwater. Underwater. What's the word? Put them together. Underwater. So if I wanted to write the word underwater because I'm going on an underwater expedition, I don't have to write underwater. I'm going to write Ter. Remember that wa, W-A? Baby's crying. Underwater. Nice work. So remember, when you're spelling and reading multi-syllable words, you might not know the word, so you might not know where the syllable ends, but just look for a vowel pattern. When you find the vowel pattern, you're going to see the syllable. All right? And we're going to do a lot of practice with that because that's so important to scientists. If you don't believe me, read your cereal box, read the ingredients. So let's talk about words with endings. Look at the picture of the boy and the baby. How are they alike and how are they different? When we compare things, we use things called suffixes. And suffixes are parts of the word added to the end of a word to change its meaning. And it might not change it completely, but it changes, kind of modifies it a little. All right? Sometimes it changes the meaning of the word completely. But these are comparing suffixes. The suffixes is added to the end of a word to change its meaning. All right? So the boy is young. The baby is young. But are they the same? How are they different? If we're going to use the word young to describe them both, how do we know if they're different or the same? Are they the same young? Young refers to their age. Are they the same age? No. So what can we say? The boy is young. The baby is younger. The baby is youngest. So we can add suffix er and est to the end of a word to compare it to other words. If it was just the boy here, who's like your age, and I said the boy is youngest, well, there's nobody to compare him to. So I can just say the boy is young. But I can't say the boy is young, the baby is young, because they're not the same. I have to compare somebody to somebody. So we use comparing words, or we add suffixes that compare words when we're comparing 2 or more objects. All right? So let's look at some examples really quick. So we use the suffix er compares two things. The boy is younger. The baby boy is younger than the grown boy, right? The suffix est compares more than two. So in the picture, you see the arrow is pointing to the youngest person in the picture. Maybe the man is young. Maybe the girl in the middle is younger. But the boy, the smallest one, is probably the youngest. So the man is young. He's not old. He's a young man, right? The girl is younger than the man. So we can use the same word, young, and we put suffixes on the end. We attach them. We affix them. They're actually affixes. We call them suffixes because they come at the end of a word. The suffix er compares two. The suffix est compares more than two. Older and oldest. And in small group, we're going to practice using these suffixes. And so we'll move these older, coldest into small group and use them in our speech. All right? So in exit ticket, blend to read, remember to pay attention to the word parts or suffixes. There is a vowel pattern that could be different in each suffix. More blend to read, exit ticket, let's blend. And then you're going to be reading in Ed Your Friend and Learning your story, Big Hen, Old Fox. I hope you had fun today in our new game using the words in sentences to put meanings to them. All right, yellow group, you're going to come right now and read those to me right now. You don't need to add them to Seesaw if you're going to read them to me. Blue group, green group, you are going to take a quick snapshot right now before you start your cursive lesson. Take a quick snapshot, read me your sentences. Use the plus, not an activity. Just put it into your Seesaw journal so you can read to me. I love when you read to me. It's probably my favorite part of the day. I might just bring my phone with me and just listen to you read to me, and I'm so proud of you, okay? Yellow group, I'm already waiting for you over there. Where are you at? The other groups, I will call you momentarily. We'll get started at the same time, all right? First thing you're doing, blue group, green group, read me your sentences. Can't wait to hear the differences in the sentences. Make sure you took a picture of them so I can see how you're writing your sentences. Cursive writing lesson, let's go. Counselor lesson 9:15 today. We got this, Tigers. We got this Wednesday. Let's do it.